The Book of Tobit, Tobiyah, Chapter 1. The Book of the Words of Tobiyah, son of Tobiel, the son of Hanael, the son of Aduel, the son of Gabael, son of Raphael, of Raguel, of the seed of Ashael, of the tribe of Naphtali, who in the time of Shalmaneser, sovereign of Ashur, was led captive out of Tisbe, which is to the right hand of that city, in Galil above Ashur, which is properly called Naphtali. I, Tobiyah, have walked all the days of my life in the ways of truth and righteousness, and I did many good works to my brothers and my nation, who came with me to Nineveh, to the land of Ashur. And when I was in my own land, in the land of Israel, being still young, all the tribe of my father Naphtali fell from the house of Jerusalem, which was chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, that all the tribes should slaughter there, where the high call of the dwelling of the Most High was kadosh and built forever and ever. Now all the tribes which revolted together, and the house of my father Naphtali, slaughtered to the calf of Baal. But I alone went often to Jerusalem for the feast, as it was given to all the people of Israel, as an everlasting law, having the firstfruits and tenths of increase, with that which was first shorn. And I gave them at the altar of the Kohanim, the children of Aharon. The first 10th part of all increase I gave to the sons of Aharon, who served at Jerusalem. Another 10th part I sold away, and went and spent it every year at Jerusalem. And the third I gave to those to whom it was right, as Deborah, my father's mother, had commanded me, because I was left an orphan by my father. Furthermore, when I came to manhood, I married Hannah of my own relatives, and from her I brought forth Tobit. And when we were carried away captive to Nineveh, all my brothers and those who were of my relatives ate of the bread of the Gentiles. But I kept myself from eating, because I remembered Elohim with all my heart, and the Most High gave me favor and kindness before Shalmaneser, so that I was his attendant. And I went to Madai, and left 10 kikers of silver in trust with Gabael, the brother of Gabriah, at Rages, a city of Madai. Now, when Shalmaneser was dead, Sennacherib, his son, reigned in his place, whose reign was troubled, so I could not go to Madai. And in the time of Shalmaneser, I did many kind deeds to my brothers, and gave my bread to the hungry, and my garments to the naked. And if I saw any of my nation dead or scattered around the walls of Nineveh, I buried them. And if Sennacherib the sovereign had slain any when he had come and fled from Yehudah, I buried them secretly, for in his wrath he killed many. But the bodies were not found when they were sought for by the sovereign. And when one of the Ninevites went and complained of me to the sovereign, that I buried them and hid myself, understanding that I was sought for to be put to death, I withdrew myself for fear. Then all my goods were forcibly taken away. Neither was there any left to me besides my wife Hannah and my son Tobit. And 55 days had not passed before 2 of his sons killed him, and they fled into the mountains of Ararat. And Esarhaddon his son reigned in his place, who appointed Ahikar, my brother Anael's sons, over his father's account, and over all his affairs. And with Ahikar entreating for me, I returned to Nineveh. Now Ahikar was a cupbearer and keeper of the seal and manager, an overseer of the accounts, and Esarhaddon appointed him next to him, and he was my brother's son. Chapter 2. Now when I had come home again, and my wife Hannah was restored to me with my son Tobit, at the festival of Shavuot, which is the Kodesh feast of the 7 weeks, there was a good dinner prepared for me, for which I sat down to eat. And when I saw the abundance of food, I said to my son, Go and bring whatever poor man you shall find from among our brothers, who remembers Yahuwah, and see, I wait for you. But he returned and said, Father, one of our nation is strangled and is thrown out in the marketplace. Then before I had tasted any of the food, I stood up and took him up into a room until the going down of the sun. Then I returned and washed myself and ate my food in heaviness, remembering the nebuah of Amos, when he said, Your festivals shall turn into mourning, and all your songs into lamentation. Therefore I wept, and after the going down of the sun, I went and dug a grave and buried him. But my neighbors mocked me and said, This man is still not afraid to be put to death for this deed, who fled away, and yet see, he buries the dead again. I also returned the same night from the burial, and slept by the wall of my courtyard, being unclean. But my face was uncovered, and I did not know that there were sparrows on the wall. The sparrows excreted warm dung into my eyes, and when I opened them, a whiteness came into my eyes. And I went to the physicians, but they could not help me, and Ahikar sustained me until I went to Elam. And my wife Hannah took women's work to do, and when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages, and also gave her a young goat as well. And when I was in my house and began to cry, I said to her, Where is this young goat from? Is it not stolen? Return it to the owners, for it is not lawful to eat whatever is stolen. But she replied to me, It was given for a gift in addition to the wages. However, I did not believe her, but told her to return it to the owners, and I was ashamed of her. But she replied to me, Where are your kind deeds and your righteous deeds? See, you and all your works are known. Chapter 3. Then being grieved I wept, and in my sorrow prayed, saying, O Yahuwah, you are righteous, and all your works and all your ways are kindness and truth, and you judge truly and righteously forever. Remember me and look on me. Do not punish me for my sins and ignorances, and the sins of my fathers who have sinned before you. For they did not obey your commands. Therefore you have delivered us for plunder, and to captivity, and to death, and for a proverb of reproach to all the nations among whom we are dispersed. And now your right rulings are many and true And now your right rulings are many and true. Deal with me according to my sins and my fathers, because we have not guarded your commands, nor walked in truth before you. Now therefore deal with me as seems best to you, and command my spirit to be taken from me, that I may become dust and become earth. For it is more profitable for me to die, rather than to live, because I have heard false reproaches, and have much sorrow. Command therefore that I may now be delivered out of this distress, and go into the everlasting place. Do not turn your face away from me. It came to be the same day that in Ametha, a city of Madai, Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, was also reproached by her father's female servants, because she had been married to 7 husbands, whom Ashmedai, the evil spirit, had killed before they had lain with her. Do you not know, they said, that you have strangled your husbands? You have already had 7 husbands, neither were you named after any of them. Why do you punish us for them? If they are dead, go your way with them. Let us never see from you either a son or daughter. When she heard these words, she was so very sorrowful that she thought to strangle herself. But she said, I am the only daughter of my father, and if I do this, it shall be a reproach to him, and I shall bring his gray hair with sorrow to the grave. Then she prayed toward the window and said, Baruch are you, O Yahuwah my Elohim, and your Kodesh and esteemed name is Baruch and esteemed forever. Let all your works praise you forever. And now, O Yahuwah, I turn my eyes and my face toward you, and say, Take me out of the earth, that I may hear the reproach no more. You know, Yahuwah, that I am pure from all sin with man, and that I never polluted my name, nor the name of my father in the land of my captivity. I am the only daughter of my father, neither has he any child to be his heir, neither any near relative, nor has he any living son to whom I may keep myself for a wife. My 7 husbands are already dead, and why should I live? But if it does not please you that I should die, command that some compassion be had for me, and favor shown me, that I hear no more reproach. So the prayers of them both were heard before the excellency of the Almighty Elohim. And Raphael was sent to heal them both, that is, to scale away the whiteness of Tobiyah's eyes, and to give Sarah the daughter of Raguel as a wife to Tobit, the son of Tobiyah, and to bind Ashmedai, the evil spirit, because she belonged to Tobit by right of inheritance. At the same time Tobiyah came home and entered into his house, and Sarah the daughter of Raguel came down from her upper room. Chapter 4. On that day Tobiyah remembered the silver which he entrusted to Gabael and Rajas of Madai, and said within himself, I have wished for death. Why do I not call for my son Tobit, that I may inform him of the silver before I die? And when he had called him, he said, My son, when I am dead, bury me, and do not despise your mother, but esteem her all the days of your life, and do that which shall please her, and do not displease her. Remember, my son, that she saw many dangers for you when you were in her womb, and when she is dead, bury her by me in one grave. My son, remember Yahuwah our Elohim all your days, and do not let your desire be towards sin, or to transgress his commands. Do rightly all your life long, and do not follow the ways of unrighteousness. For if you deal truly, your deeds shall succeed prosperously for you, and to all those who live righteously. Give in kindness from your supply, and when you give in kindness, do not let your eye be evil, neither turn your face from any poor, and the face of Elohim shall not be turned away from you. If you have abundance, give in kindness accordingly. If you have but a little, do not be afraid to give according to that little. For you lay up a good treasure for yourself against the day of distress, so that kind deeds deliver from death, and withhold against darkness. For kind deeds are a good gift to all that give it in the sight of the Most High. Beware of all whoring, my son, and firstly take a wife of the seed of your fathers, and do not take a strange woman who is not of your father's tribe as wife. For we are the children of the Nebaim, Noah, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Jacob. Remember, my son, that from the beginning our fathers, even they all married wives of their own relatives, and were Barak in their children, and their seed shall inherit the land. Now therefore, my son, love your brothers, and do not despise your brothers in your heart, the sons and daughters of your people, in not taking a wife from them. For destruction and much trouble comes from pride, and decay and great need comes from wickedness, for wickedness is the mother of hunger. Do not let the wages of any man who has worked for you remain with you, but give it to him from your hand. For if you serve Elohim, he shall also repay you. My son, be considerate in all that you do, and be wise in all your ways. Do not do to any man that which you hate. Do not drink wine to make yourself drunk, neither let drunkenness go with you in your way. Give of your bread in the hungry, and of your garments to those who are naked, and according to your abundance give in kindness, and do not let your eye be evil when you give in kindness. Pour out your bread on the burial of the righteous, but give not to the wicked. Ask counsel from all who are wise, and do not despise any counsel that is useful. Barak Yahuwah your Elohim always, and desire from him that your ways be directed, and that all your paths and counsels prosper. For every nation has no counsel, but Yahuwah himself gives all that is good, and he humbles those whom he desires, as he desires. Now therefore, my son, remember my commands, neither let them be forgotten. And now I write this to those whom I committed 10 kikers, to Gabael, the son of Gabriah, at Rajas and Madai. And do not fear, my son, that we are made poor, for you have much wealth if you revere Elohim and depart from all sin, and do that which is pleasing in his sight. Chapter 5. Tobit then answered and said, Father, I shall do all that which you have commanded me. But how may I receive the silver, seeing I do not know him? Then he gave him the handwriting and said to him, Seek a man who would go with you while I still live, and I shall give him wages, and go and receive the silver. Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael, who was a messenger. But he did not know, and he said to him, Would you go with me to Rajas? And do you know those places well? To whom the messenger replied, I shall go with you, and I know the way well, for I have stayed with our brother Gabael. Then Tobit said to him, Wait for me till I tell my father. Then he said to him, Go and do not delay. So he went in and said to his father, See, I have found one who shall go with me. Then he said, Call him to me, so I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he is a trustworthy man to go with you. So he called him, and he came in, and they greeted one another. Then Tobiyah said to him, Brother, show me of what tribe and family you are. To whom he replied, Do you seek for a tribe or family, or a hired man to go with your son? Then Tobiyah said to him, Brother, may I know your relatives and name? Then he said, I am Azariah, the son of Hananiah, the elder, and of your brothers. Then Tobiyah said, You are welcome, brother. Do not be wroth with me, because I have inquired to know your tribe and your family. For you are my brother, of an honest and good family. For I know Hananiah and Jehonathan, sons of Shemaiah, the elder. For we went together to Jerusalem to worship, and offer the firstborn and the tenths of the firstfruits. And they were not seduced with the straying of our brothers. My brother, you are of a good family. But tell me, what wages shall I give you? Would you accept a drachma a day? And what is necessary, and for my own son? Even so, if you return safe, I shall add somewhat to your wages. So they were well pleased. Then he said to Tobit, Prepare yourself for the journey, and Elohim give you a good journey. And when his son had prepared all for the journey, his father said, Go with this man, and Elohim, who dwells in the Shemaim, prosper your journey, and the messenger of Elohim keep you company. So they both departed, and the young man's dog with them. But Hannah his mother wept and said to Tobiyah, Why have you sent our son away? Is he not the staff of our hand, in going in and out before us? Do not be greedy to add silver to silver, but let it be as filth in respect to our child. For that which Yahuwah has given us to live with is sufficient for us. Then Tobiyah said to her, Do not worry, my sister. He shall return in safety, and your eyes shall see him. For the good messenger shall keep him company, and his journey shall be prosperous, and he shall return safe. Then she ceased weeping.